Beneath the earth, where the light dares not linger, lies the hall of echoes. The air is thick with memory, whispers of the forgotten, calling out to those brave enough to listen. Your next quest begins here, among the crypts of the past. Read a story that drips with darkness, one steeped in mystery, grief, or foreboding. But tread carefully, adventurer, for the echoes grow stronger the deeper you go. In the side quest, follow the shadows, wander the dimly lit corridors, speak with the dead, confront your past in the reflection of stone. Each story you uncover feeds the restless spirits and brings you one step closer to uncovering what sleeps underneath. The Hall of Echoes awaits. Will you brave the silence or become another whisper in the dark? Hello, welcome back to another reading vlog. I just got off sprint, so I'm like hyped up. My energy's like high, and it probably is also because I'm reading such a good book. Yeah, I just went live for my first sprint. If you were there, thank you so much for joining. If you weren't, well, there's plenty more other sprints, and I hope to see you soon. But hello, welcome to Main Quest 3. And yeah, welcome to Main Quest 3. This is a quest that I have been waiting for as a fellow horror lover. I feel like I've been gravitating a lot more towards horror this year. Specifically, I don't know why. I mean, I've always gravitated towards horror ever since I started reading again, like back in 2023. But like this year, it's been like, I think that's like the biggest chunk of my books have been horrors. Don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know what to tell you, but they have been. Anyways, let's start off with Main Quest 3. If you guys have seen Main Quest 3, we are now officially entering the Hall of Echoes, which is a graveyard crypt place where the shadows are, what was I gonna say? where you want to watch what's in the shadows because there's spirits looming about. It is the darkest quest in here, and I'm just like so excited for it because I feel like pretty much every quest that I came up with has like a variety of genres that you can choose from. But it's, for example, like when we get to Main Quest 5, I feel like that's geared more towards like cozy fantasy. I feel like the first one was kind of for everything. The second one was kind of more for, I forgot what the second quest was. What was the second quest? I don't even remember what the second quest was. Why did I just... Oh, otherworldly. So it's more like sci-fi / fantasy-ish. There we go. The second quest was more like sci-fi fantasy-ish. And this quest specifically is for my horror people, okay? And so I'm excited for it because the prompt for Main Quest 3 is to read a book with a dark setting, atmosphere, or that feels mysterious or foreboding. And let me tell you what book I got for Main Quest 3. And that is going to be none other than the The Carrow Haunt by Miss Darcy Coates. I feel like I'm taking advantage of the fact that I can read whatever I want right now for this readathon, and so I've been kind of starting to work my way through Darcy Coates' backlist, which is a goal of mine, as I know that it's also a goal of Rochelle's. So Good Morning Dreamer, she also is a big like Darcy Coates person. I know she wants to get through her backlist too, so I'm also taking this opportunity to get through her backlist because I have a few books by her. But I'm reading this one, and this one, I don't know. I haven't read the synopsis for this one, but I will tell you from what I've read so far, which is not that much. It's 27 pages in. We are following a tour guide. So basically there is a tour guide that gives us a tour on this very infamous mansion that used to be a hotel. And then the owner of the hotel, which wasn't the owner, he actually unalived the owner, and then he like posed himself as the owner. He started unaliving guests, people that worked there, and it wasn't until like after like 29 people, and some people speculated even up to 60 people that he had unalived, is when it finally caught up to him. And so now we're following, I think it's like, I don't know how many years it's been after that, but now it's been restored. The house has been restored and turned into a like museum-ish tour for like the people that are like into like history and the paranormal, and that's what's happening. So the tour guide is like kind of showing people around and being like, people see spirits here, people see spirits here. And I felt like it's so like, I literally started reading this at the most perfect moment, because I just went to the Queen Mary and I did like a ghost tour. It's not my first one. I've literally stayed there and like done paranormal investigations, but I just did a like ghost tour, and I was literally just thinking about like I was thinking about like looking for a job as a ghost tour guide, because not because I need it, just because it just seems like so much fun and it seems right up my alley. And I am obsessed with the Queen Mary, like to the point where I literally know all her history, so I know I'd be great at it. Okay, not trying to toot my own horn, but I would be a really great paranormal tour guide. Plus the ghosts like me there. They do. They really do. I'm not joking about that. Like, they really do. There's like a lot of the ghosts are friendly there. Anyways, getting sidetracked. Hi. So I'm 27 pages in, and I'm loving this so much. I'm loving it so much. I'm so obsessed. So this is the book that I'm going to be reading for my main quest, and so far it looks like a potential 5-star. I hope do you guys hear that? It's like an ambulance. Welcome to living in LA. So this one I'm so excited for. It's so far it's so good. So moving on to the side quests. So I'm going to be honest with you guys, I did not roll for these side quests because I've been waiting for quest number 3. And so I kind of just wanted to do whatever side quests I wanted. So I'm going to tell you instead of rolling for it, I'm going to tell you what side quests I want to do. Number 1, one of the side quests that I'm actually working towards right now is The Rise of the Restless. Number 8, which is to read a book that delves into zombies, death, or decay. And for that one, I am reading Dating After the End of the World by Jeneva Rose. It's so good. It's so good. Anyways, okay, so let me tell you what this is about, and then we'll do our update in a little bit. But this one we are following our main character, and her name is Casey Pearson, and basically she grew up being bullied by this guy because, you know, her dad was a doomsday prepper, and so the bully would bully her and be like, oh, he would call her doomsday, and she would be bullied so bad by this guy. But she ends up growing up, and she like separates herself from her dad because she's like, my dad's just crazy, I realize that now. And she goes to college, becomes a doctor, and then we are following her as she's in the ER. And then when she's in the ER, she's treating like these patients, and her fiance is also a ER doctor. And so they're treating patients, and then they realize that they're getting like a surge of patients, patient after patient, and they all have like the same symptoms, until all of a sudden one of them takes a chomp at her, and it's a full-on zombie apocalypse just happens right there in the ER room. She escapes with her fiance, and then it's weeks later, and they're together in his apartment building when these mean guys come knocking at her door, and her dad also taught her how to fight. So she fights back, and then one of the guys manages to pin her down. And she calls for her fiance's help, and instead of helping her, he runs off like a bitch. So that happened, and so she has no choice but to go back to her father. And then when she goes back to her father, he's obviously there. Her whole family is there, which is awesome. Even her best friend is there. And so she's super excited until she gets to her bedroom, and she realizes that she has to share a bedroom with none other than Blake, who's like the bully from her high school. And the banter is bantering, you guys. Oh, I'm loving this so much. I don't know if it's because it's been so long since I've read anything that has romance in it that I'm like, ah! So I think it's good to take a break from certain genres, because now when I'm going back into like romance, I'm like, ee! You know what I mean? I'm very excited. Anyway, so this is what I'm reading for the number 8 prompt. This next book could be either for, it literally could be in line with number 4, Echoes of the Dead, read a book about ghosts or the afterlife, or even Enter the Silent Crypt, which is to read a book with death, grief, or mourning as a theme. And that is Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I tried getting this into my quest number 2 TBR, and and I just didn't get to it. I kind of already explained what this is about, but if you guys didn't hear my little synopsis about it, this is about a girl who is like an influencer, and then she inherits this house from her mom that was always said to be haunted, and then she realizes, surprise, surprise, it is haunted. And so we're just following her story. I know this is a very hyped book, and I'm sorry that I've literally been swept up in the hype, and now I have to read this as well. So I'm excited to read this. So hopefully I can get to it if I finish this one in time. But honestly, with how I've been binging this and like be so obsessed, I'm pretty sure I am gonna finish it. So I'm reading this one this could be for side quest 4 or 6. And then for side quest number 5, which is Reflections in the Stone, to read a book where a character confronts their past identity or destiny. I want to get to the 3rd book in the Gravekeeper series. I read the 2nd book in the 2nd quest, but I want to read the last, not the last one. This is the 3rd one. I think there's 5 out so far. I'm not sure if it's completed, but I'm really loving this. So another Darcy Coates. I'm trying to get our Darcy Coates in here. So I want to read that one, and that's pretty much it. So I plan on reading these books, you guys. I don't think I'm going to get to any more, to be honest. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get to the Twisted Dead, but here's to hoping. So this is what I'm going to be reading. Let me give you my update for Dating After the End of the World by Jeneva Rose. I am 62 pages in. I am on chapter 10, and I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. Okay, I don't know what it is. I like Jeneva Rose. I know that she's known for like thrillers. I think this is her first romance, and the fact that it takes place after the apocalypse, it's such a unique synopsis, and I'm absolutely obsessed. Like, I love it so much. Like, the banter is bantering. I'm already enjoying these two characters. Our main character, Casey, is so badass. I absolutely love her. And I love Blake too, like the bully guy, because he's so like confident, you know what I mean? He has that like cockiness, but not, it doesn't come off as cockiness. It comes off as like confidence, and like it's kind of hot, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I'm really liking this so much. Like, I see this potentially being a 5-star, if not like one of my favorite books of this year. So I'm really enjoying this. I hope that it stays up, like keeps up the same hype that it's been keeping up for me so far. And I mentioned this in my live stream, but basically this book reminds me of, if you guys know that song, it's called Zombieland. I know it's not a really like well-known song, but if you guys have heard the song Victoria's Secret by, I forgot what her name is, Jax? Oh, her name is Jax. Okay, so if you guys have heard the song Victoria's Secret by Jax, she makes a song called Zombieland. If you listen to the lyrics, it reminds me of this so much. I've been like just literally just singing the lyrics over and over in my head, because I feel like this suits this book to a T. And oh gosh, you guys, I don't know what else to say. The characters, the banter, the synopsis, the concept, everything about this book is hitting for me, and I'm obsessed, which is great, because I feel like actually no, I did have one 5-star read so far, but everything else has been like, you know, like whatever. So I'm happy to have more 5 stars, and I could potentially be having 2 5-stars here, maybe even 3 if I read this one, and maybe even 4 if I do like this one. Rachel Harrison, I don't know, I've only read another book for her and it was like so we'll see how I feel about this one. So I'm so excited, you guys. So yeah, let's continue on with the reading vlog. Okay, bye. Hello, you guys. Good morning. Happy Has Been Hotel Wednesday. It is Wednesday, so it is my favorite day of the week right now, because the new episodes of Has Been Hotel comes out every Wednesday, and 2 new episodes of Has Been Hotel comes out, and I've been like obsessed with the show. And yeah, so if you guys have not watched Hazbin Hotel and you guys like adult animation, then I highly recommend it. It's so good. Anyways, other than being super excited for Hazbin Hotel, this book has me like kicking my feet. It makes me so giddy. I'm so obsessed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys, this book is so good. This book is so good. Like, I need to talk about this. Oh my god, this book is so good. Like, I'm literally so close to finishing it, okay? I'm like 60 pages away from finishing it, and I'm so obsessed. This book literally has me in a effing chokehold, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I haven't read that much romances in a while. Like, I've been kind of, I don't know, I felt like I was reading so many like romanticities and stuff that it just started like becoming really dull and repetitive. So I took a break and I started reading. I've been reading like more, like a lot of horror. Okay, I've been reading a lot of horror, and if there's any romance in it, then it's very like minimal. And so to read a romance again, maybe it's just that, but I'm so obsessed with this. Maybe it's just so unique. Like, yes, there's tropes that we see. There's like the enemies to lovers trope. There's the miscommunication trope, but done right. Like, because I usually hate the miscommunication trope, but this time around, I didn't really mind it. Plus, there's like the love triangle trope. It's just so good. It's just so good, you guys. And then on top of that, it's a zombie apocalypse. So the like premise is so unique, and I'm just so obsessed. I'm so obsessed. Like, I love each and every one of these characters so much, especially our main two characters, okay? Blake and Casey are so amazing. Like, I'm loving this so much. I don't even know what to tell you. I'm obsessed. Because at the same time, even though this is a romance, right? I don't want to say it's like particularly just a romance, because yes, well, it does focus on the romance blossoming between these two characters. You also get a lot of plot, okay? Because I'm the type of person that if a book is just a romance, like, that's why I can't read too much like contemporary romance or anything, because it's just so boring to me. Like, that's it, like your relationship, that's the whole story. There needs to be something else involved other than just a romance blossoming for me to be fully invested in it, and there is so much going on around it. So while this romance is blossoming, there is zombies. It's an apocalypse. You see them getting prepared for all these different scenarios. You have them training. There's just so much more going around it, that it's not just a romance, and it's just so unique. And I have not read a zombie book in so long, and I love zombie shows, okay? I love zombie shows. Me and my daughter, we love zombie shows. It's so good. It's so good. Unless something goes completely effing wrong, like, this is going to be a 5-star read, and it's gonna definitely be on one of my top books of the year, because if not become my top book of the year, because I'm that obsessed. Oh my god, this book is so good. So I have officially finished Dating After the End of the World by Jeneva Rose, and you guys, it was so good. I loved it so much. Like I was saying before, I don't know if it's the fact that I have not read a book that takes place in like a zombie apocalypse and is a romance. I'm not sure if it's because I've been deprived of romance for so long, because it just became the same to me. I don't know what it was about this book that made me so obsessed, but right away, as soon as it started, it was so fast paced. The whole plot with the zombies and going to the apocalypse, and even the banter like right away that started between these two characters, was just so amazing and so much fun. And even though, yes, I understand this is a very predictable book, this is a book that you kind of already know what's going to happen. There might be a few little plot twists that you don't expect, but overall you kind of see where it's going, and you already know what's going to happen. You know how it's going to end. You know who's going to be lovers in the end. You kind of already know, but that didn't take away from the enjoyment at all to me. if anything, like, it just made me more, I don't know, it just made me so excited and happy and made me want to get through it more so I can get to the points where I'm like, oh my gosh, they're finally gonna get together, if that makes any sense. And this was a pretty slow burn romance. I feel like not as slow as I was expecting, but it was just so much fun. Like, I enjoyed each and every one of these characters. I enjoyed our main character as well as our love interest. They were just so much fun. I loved her and how badass she is and how she was raised and how it just made her so freaking like such an epic badass person in the apocalypse. And I enjoyed this guy as well, the main love interest as well, right, Nezzy? And it was just such a fun read, so I loved it. The only thing that I'm going to complain about, to be honest, is two things. Number one is we only got one smut scene, which I didn't really appreciate. And number two is that it was so good. Even the ending was fantastic up until like the very last page, like the last 2 paragraphs. I'm like, why would you do this? I feel like she ruined the whole book with the last 2 paragraphs in this book. So I'm just gonna pretend it doesn't exist, because then that's how I'm able to keep my 5-star review and keep it in like the top 5 of this year, if not at number 1. So this is obviously a 5-star read for me. I loved it. I didn't like the very, very end, but other than that, the vast majority of it was so enjoyable and I could not put it down. So definitely 5 out of 5 stars is probably going to end up in one of my top books of this year. Loved it. Hello everybody, I have my final review on the Carrow Haunt by Darcy Coates. I don't think I ever updated you guys on this book, and the reason why, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, is because I ran out of storage on my phone, because after the whole thing that happened with me losing my footage, I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna shoot and log from now on. And because of that, it takes up so much space. So since then, I've cleared more space and now I'm able to finally review this. Is that we are following this girl named Remy, and like I said, there is this place, back in the day it used to be like a hotel / bed and breakfast for people, and it was owned by these, like, it was a very beautiful estate that people would stay in. And then pretty soon, eventually, people started to go missing, and then they found out that the person that I think it was the groundskeeper, gardener, something like that. He basically unalived the people that had owned the estate, and then he took over and people didn't even know that he was a different person. And then he would take people into the bed and breakfast, and then he would slowly start to unalive his guests that would stay overnight there. And he eventually got caught. And so a lot of people have passed away in this estate. And now it's like 100, 200 years later. And it is now like a museum. And Remy is the tour guide for this like haunted tour of this place that used to be a bed and breakfast / hotel. And then she gets the opportunity to work with a paranormal investigator on this whole place. And so for 2 weeks she gets to stay there, and she's very excited about it, along with the owner of the estate, who is she's not a little girl, she's like a teenager, and I think her name's April, and she wants to be a medium, and that's why her parents bought her this place. And then there's a medium with them, and then they start to conduct all these like paranormal investigations, hold seances, all this kind of stuff, and then eventually, little by little, people start to go missing and start to be unalived. And is it a ghost? Is it something that's still living? We do not know, but it was a really fun read. It was definitely very interesting. This is like everything that if you read Home Before Dark and you were disappointed in the way that the ending went, and you wanted something different, I can't say anything without it spoiling that book. So if you wanted something different, that twist at the end, you wanted it to be different, I highly recommend this one. It was so good. This was a really good story. However, eventually, it's such a chunky book that it started to lose my interest after a little while. As I was saying, so it didn't maintain my interest. After a while, it started to lose its pizzazz, if you will. The characters were okay. They were not, the characters, I could not cling on to like too much. The mystery about who's doing these things, it wasn't so much of a mystery. It was a little bit predictable, I guess I would say. So there wasn't too much for me to like cling on to. The characters were pretty basic, generic, ordinary. They didn't have too much of a personality. So it was just your typical cliche cast of characters trapped together in an estate. There is the person that doesn't believe in it and is obnoxious about not believing it. There's the person that's like desperate to find something. There's, you know what I mean? It's just like your typical cliche cast of characters. And so there wasn't really anything for me to really gravitate towards that really held my interest. That being said, though, it wasn't like a bad read. I think I'm going to give it a 3.5 star because it was still very enjoyable, and it is, like all of Darcy Coates' books that I've read thus far, cozy horror at its finest. It's definitely have its creepy moments, but overall still gives you like a very comforting, cozy feeling. But it wasn't my favorite of Darcy Coates' books. Let's just say that. Like, I've read quite a few. I think this is like my 4th or 5th book that I've read from her. And it definitely is not my favorite, but it's also not my least favorite. So that's going to be my final review for the Carrow Haunt. But I'm glad I read it because now I'm getting through Darcy Coates' bag list, which makes me so happy. Yeah. So yeah, that's my review on this. Hey guys, so welcome to the end of this vlog, this main quest 3 vlog, because I technically already started main quest 4, but anyways, I'm going to wrap this up with my Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to finish this as much as I wanted to, which sucks because I was only like 100 pages away, but it looks like it's not going to happen. So I am going to be saving this for main quest 4, well, one of the side quests. And I just wanted to let you guys know that I really am enjoying this. However, I do not like the main character. I cannot stand her. But I like to give you a little synopsis of this. Is we're following, I gave you a brief synopsis of it, but let me tell you a little bit more thoroughly now that I'm actually reading the book and I actually know what it's about. Our main character is Cleo. She's an influencer, she's a stylist, and then her mom ends up passing away, and she had a very estranged relationship with her mom. Her mom kind of treated her like dog poo-poo growing up, and then she ends up inheriting her mom's house, where all her sisters end up inheriting the house, but her sisters don't want it. So Cleo decides, you know what, I'm going to take the house because I want to do a cute little DIY project because my friend did it and she got a lot of followers, and so I want to do it too. And so she starts doing that, and she moves into this house, and then she starts noticing like little weird things moving around, and like she's seeing like things are happening that she's like, I don't remember, like something will be drawn on her like sketch pad, and she's like, I don't remember drawing this. And so weird stuff starts happening, and then she finds her mom's book that was annotated specifically for her, and it says like, to my little Cleo, my little firecracker. And even though she promised her father that she would never read her mom's book, which is about this haunted house, she decides to read it anyway because her mom wrote it for her. You know, like she annotated it for her specifically so that she could hear her mom's side of the story. And then we find out that Cleo actually had a close connection to this entity that was in this house. And now she's back in this house. So how does this entity feel about her? It seems like he's really happy that she's back. But is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't think that's a good thing, that's for sure. And so that's what's happening. And like I said, I just can't stand the main character, but the story itself is really good. So usually, I usually, the majority of the time, like when I can't stand the main character, I can't really stand the story. But there are cases where even if the main character is irritating, I can still enjoy the story. Especially when the main character is intentionally supposed to be disliked, and it almost makes me feel like Rachel Harrison made this main character intentionally a bitch, a brat. Like, she so I'm enjoying the story. We'll see how much growth this character has throughout the story, but there are certain little aspects of her personality that I do appreciate. For example, like, she doesn't handle anybody's shiznit, and she doesn't like when people treat her like, oh my gosh, I can't take care of myself. You know what I mean? Because I understand the feeling as the youngest child. Even though I'm in my early 30s, I feel like I'm still sometimes treated like I can't make my own decisions. And so I completely understand how she feels. And so there's that. But anyways, that's my update for Play Nice.